And welcome everybody. We are back for GSR Tier 1. We are here for round number 5 of the season. It is the British Grand Prix for Tier 1 in the 8th season of GSR. I am Rhino31, and today I am joined by JNTtheKid. Welcome.
Hi! I'm on
Good to have
TV!
you. Good to have you alongside me for the first time. Thrasher's not able to make it here today, so I have you alongside me. I'm gonna get everybody updated on the things going on. So, we have, I believe, I want to say that's FRT Alpha, maybe making his first start, possibly. Brute will be joining in mid-quali. Jacob Egg making his first, Jacob E66 making his first start. That's probably supposed to say Egg, but you get the point. It's with the sixes. Bruffed 56 is also going to be making his first start. Obese Boy making his first start. And besides that, I'm not really sure who else will be, but that's as far as I know. Regarding the Tier 3 and Tier 2 races from yesterday and from today as well, JNT, I don't really know if you watched a little bit of Tier 3, but Tier 3 seemed like an interesting race with it being wet the full way, drying up toward the end, but just not enough for those dry tires. Silverstone seems to rain a lot, and it has rained a lot in both races this weekend. Tier 3, it was... Let me make sure I've got this correct. I just want to make sure it was Metro Cash. I cannot speak English. Metro Cash, who took the win.
Not that hard, is it?
Archie, I guess not, but I guess it is. Archie ended up taking a puncture on the last lap. Archie Cyberbot was bound to get a podium, wasn't able to do so with his last lap puncture that put him back there. Shot took a podium. And there was somebody else up there as well on the podium. I just want to make sure I have it correct. For who was on the podium. Yeah, that other guy, right? I should come a little bit more prepared, but the point being is that, last lap, I made a move on shot, that secured P3 on track, but P4 off of, and the timing glitch and the penalties, that were applied from the game. Now, let me just make sure I have the results correct here. Yep, Sam the Nick, I'm sorry. Sam the Nick was the Tier 4 driver on the podium. That was his first podium in Tier 3 and his first start in Tier 3, so congratulations to him. Riles and Harry, both drivers contending for the championship, got into trouble in the race. And for them, that's going to cost them dearly if they look back on that and they get overtaken by anybody else behind them in the championship. But somebody who's been put into championship contention with their podium has been its shot. So that's good for him. That's good that that's good that that's happened for him, in favor of him. Mac Bikeman was up there in contention for the race. And he ended up actually getting a drive-through, I believe, under the virtual safety car. It was the only virtual safety car in the race, no safety cars at all, unlike Tier 2. Tier 2 had some safety cars. Now, I was going to ask, J&T, did you end up watching Tier 2 at all?
Yes.
And if so, can you give a description on what the race was like? Because I did not watch much of it, but you did. So go ahead.
Alright, so Tier 2, like, what, Japan was last week or 2 weeks ago? I don't remember.
Japan was a couple weeks ago, yeah. Yep, go ahead.
The weather for there were two tiers that had basically the same weather. So Tier 3 started, it was wet most of the time and then dried up at the end. Same exact thing for Tier 2. I don't know what it is about this league, it just kind of happens. Anyway, I'm going to check drivers just to see who I'm talking about. That's unhelpful.
I know Lando got a podium. That's all I know because I saw Shot mention that in the IFRC Discord server. So I know Lando got another podium, and he mentioned in his interview that he's used to getting these podiums now. He's a full-time driver now at Alpine, so he's no longer a reserve. He'll be contending for the championship. Wingo got in trouble. I know that. That's all I really know about that race.
It's all kind of, the race was basically all track position because
yeah,
I was Lando's race engineer and we called him in for New Anders on a safety car. He dropped back to ninth and he got caught up in traffic. And by the time he got back into third, it was just too late for him to get back up front. So I think
Yeah.
we're gonna see that track position might be more important than tires if it's wet. But we don't really know what's gonna happen if it's dry, since we haven't had that happen yet. Obviously.
Yeah, not this weekend at least, and that's the thing. With that being said, you mentioned it's not been dry yet, but I will say though, something I actually forgot to mention was Schott got pole in Tier 3 by almost 3 seconds. That's the largest pole gap in this league's history.
How?
That will be something we'll be mentioning. Well, the track was dry at the very start of the session, then it started pouring down, and Schott was the only person to get really a full dry lap in. And he was on the softs, and everybody else's laps were on the inners. But with that being said, Tier 2, it was Kieran who won the race. Behind that,
Was
trying to
Vapor.
think of who else
It
it was.
was
Vapor
Vapor.
JS, yup. Vapor JS, and then Lando. Now, this is important for the championship for Tier 2 because Lando keeps racking up those podiums. Vapor JS, 2 podiums in a row. One last week was a win. This week was a second. And I spoke about in Tier 2, those McLaren drivers coming back, and they really are coming back. They've done everything they can. Now, we're going to move on to last season's race of the British Grand Prix. So, last season in Britain goes back a while if you really think about it, but as I scroll and scroll and scroll, last season's race 6 in Britain, Jab was not on the podium, surprisingly, and he's on a lap right now as I speak about that, but Jab's was surprisingly not on the podium. But he did get pole, which we'll be watching out to see if he can do today, the championship leader. But Sam Cole won the race. FH was second, and Mr. Boker was third. That was the podium. Just some things to point out. 9 drivers finished the race.
That
I
does
think
not
there
sound
was
healthy.
6 DNFs. 6 DNFs, though. It was a 15 car grid back then. Obviously, much better now,
Someone
as
got
you
a
can
5th
see.
place. That's funny.
Yep, that is Jacob who got that. But, yep, that was what it looked like last time. It was a Red Bull on top, then the 2 Mercedes on the podium. With that being said, let's speak about the point standings, JNT. This is very important because this is where things have started to change. Subbing Sock, who is currently on pole, by the way, last week was on course for the win.
He was?
And Subbing Sock, the Williams driver. I think he's a reserve. And,
No, he's a Williams driver.
well, he's a Williams driver, but on the standings it says reserve. I don't know why it says reserve on there. But with that being said, you look at Subbing Sock. He had a chance for the win last week. He came into the league at the 2nd race of the season. And he is now split that McLaren party in that driver standings. Jab is leading by almost 2 races now. Almost 2 races. Jab, 88 points for him. Subbing Sock is in 2nd with 39. Then it's the McLaren teammate of Turner, 55 points back. And I think it's a close race for 2nd, I will say that. But if there's anybody who can spoil that McLaren party, it's Subbing Sock.
It's the Sock boy.
Who picked up the podium last week. The rest of the standings, Sharev Caterpillar in 4th. Lewis Such in 5th. With Finn in 6th. Then you have Term and Rossi, who's all close around that area. And there's not really a whole lot much more to talk about in the driver
2nd
standings.
through 8th is separated by, like, what, 15 points?
Yeah. And you know, that will be something to focus on if Jab ends up having a bad race. Because if he ends up having, well, actually 2 bad races it's going to take. Because if he does end up having 2 bad races, that puts people right back into contention. As crazy as it seems. But yeah, the constructor standings. McLaren are on top. They're a race ahead. But Red Bull did gain back last week with Turner's DNF. And, you know, with Turner's DNF, I put Red Bull just a little bit closer. But they're still out. They're still a race out of contention. 50 points behind, almost 49.
49.
So yeah, they're 49 points back. Red Bull is, and you have Williams, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Mercedes, Alpine are all close within a 3-point gap. Alfa Romeo and Haas 8th and 9th, and then AlphaTauri in 10th place. Any other notable things to note in the constructors, JNT, that you think is worth noting?
Aston and Mercedes are separated by 1. I mean, the Aston Mercedes Alpine, that could be fun to watch. Yeah, I mean, both Mercedes are actually looking really good right now. 5th and 6th.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they could maybe even try and get Ferrari in the constructors from 4th on back. It's no one knows. It could be anyone's game for 4th right now.
Right. Right. It really could. And the thing is, as well, that Ada mentions is, speaking of McLaren, don't know if you've mentioned it, but Jab is so dominant that he has enough points to keep McLaren in front of the Tier 1 constructors, even without Turner's points. That's crazy.
But also sting a
Now,
little for Turner.
that's true. That's true. But he has helped keep McLaren up there because they wouldn't have a race gap if it weren't for him. And that's Brugg out of the session as it is. We're gonna go on board with somebody for a hot lap here at this track. There's nobody really on a lap. That's the sad part. So I don't know if we'll be able to get anybody on a hot lap. But I do want to focus on Term though, who's currently on pole, because as you go down this hangar straight.
We should go with Jab. We should go with the championship leader. He's about to go for a lap.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's close to. Yeah, you're right. Invalid on the outlap. And before we do get the final laps, and go over that, the championship leader down in 10th. He can't improve on this. He could be starting outside the top 10 on a tire. That is his choice. Now he ends off the final corner. He's going to start the lap into turn 1. You want to go down to that curb on the right side just a little bit. Use left side curb first, though, of course. And you got to use all the track you can. Be careful, though, because you can spin out of turn 1 easily based off not taking the right line. Clip the curb at turn 2, turn 3. Yeah, just don't clip the red part, because at that red part, you're going to lose tons of time. Stick to the racing line. Then you have the straight DRS enabled. And as we head down to the end of Sector 1, how much is Jap going to be up by the championship leader, who is a second off pole right now? He's 2/10 up. And a little bit toward the curb. You got to have a sketchy line there. Again, another sketchy line right there. Maybe not the best of lines, but he's going to get a good exit because of that line that he got at turn 7, I want to say that is. Now you got to stay right on that white line right there. Gain enough time, because if you don't, you won't gain the time in that area you want to. Right here, flat out for Jab, the championship leader. Stay right to that curb. And then right here, this first part of the S's, Maggots and Beckett's, is going to be flat out. Well, just let off the throttle a little bit there.
Take a little lift.
Downshift to 7th, 6th, 5th, back up to 6th. DRS enabled. How much is he up by? He's up by 5/10. He's got a purple sector. So, is this going to be the pole that Jeb is looking for? A little bit low in the ERS. 50% by the end of the lap, end of Sector 3. Now, as you see right here, take a little bit of that curb. Now you head into the chicane. Take a little bit of the right side curb. And you head into the chicane. Left, right. You got to take a little bit of that curb. You messed it up just a little bit.
A little bit of a mistake. That might cost him the pole.
And it's only going to be 4th for Jab. You're right. Yeah, and that's surprising because he was purple in every sector except for the last one. The last sector is where he lost time, and we will be watching the drivers come across the line who will start their laps and will end their laps. Turner is going to come across the line to start a lap. The other Alpine driver, that is going to be Jesus Sam. He's going to start a lap. The Aston Martin, that is Heaven, who will start a lap. And then farther behind that, it's a train of cars who will get their last laps in with a minute left in the session. And, oh, Heaven, starting his lap, is going to spin out of the final corner, and he's got damage. So his chance at a final flying lap is done. He will sit 13th. And Akos has got a 5-second grip, or 5-place grip penalty for illegal blocking. The Alfa Romeo comes across the line, and that's Black Draw, who is starting a lap and has got Heaven, who was in the way of him. That is unfortunate. The Mercedes drivers will start their laps, their final flying laps. The Red Bull driver and the Williams driver start their final laps. The Ferrari of Jacob is going to be the next driver to cross the line and start his final lap. The Red Bull of Term, who's currently on pole by 2.5 tenths, is starting a lap. The Haas driver behind that, Astrief, will be the first to cross the line, but this one's going to be his valve lap now. The Alfa Romeo of Alpha starts a lap. The AlphaTauri starts a lap. Qualifying is over for these guys. The McLaren of Turner is going to go up to 4th ahead of his teammate. He's out-qualified his teammate for the first time. Jab, the championship leader, is going to be as high as 5th only. Sam is out of the session, who sits in the 2nd row right now. The next driver to cross the line will be Venom in the Alpine, making the return for the 2nd week in a row. Purple in Sector 2 is yet to set a lap.
Socks on the lap.
That's the reserve driver who sits second in the point standings. Behind that's the Aston Martin who goes off the track and
Purple
into the
for the
wall.
Williams.
The first driver to cross the line here will be Venom. Will Venom have something to say about Term's pole lap? He's going to go into the front row. The Mercedes driver. That's Finn. He's up on his time as well. Will he say something about it at his home race? Only behind Jab. The Red Bull driver is next. That's Williams of Sock. He takes it over Term. I mistake that. That was the Williams driver who is on pole at the British Grand Prix. The Ferrari is next. Jacob can't say anything about that. Next is Term, who's up on his time. Will it be pole? Will he take it back? No, he won't. The Alfa Romeo of FRT Alpha, will he take pole? He can only manage 17th.
AlphaTauri goes 7th. Now really pretty decent lap for him.
Rev Caterpillar has abandoned his final lap. It will be subbing Sock, the reserve driver, on pole by 100th. I mistaken for the Red Bull driver. You may as well give him a Red Bull signing at this point.
I don't think he's a reserve.
Yeah. Well, he's a Williams driver now, if that's the case, because on the standings it says reserve. Yeah, on the standings it says reserve for some reason.
He's never a reserve.
That makes no sense then. Because on the standings they have him as a reserve. That's weird. They gotta fix that though. Well, they'll have to fix it though. But it is gonna be the Williams driver of subbing Stock on pole.
Qualifying over. If Rev decides to retire because this game is perfect.
Well, drive session for the full time. Scott subbing Sock, the Williams driver, on pole. Who else took a pole in Williams? That was shot yesterday in Tier 3. So Williams are helping themselves very well for the combined constructors. Akos and Jacob both have 5-place grid penalties for the respective collisions and incidents.
Akos will be starting 15th. The Eggman 17th.
Which promotes Black Raw to the top 10. Well, here's the qualifying results. Sabig Sock is on pole. Term alongside him. Then it's Venom and Sam and Alpine. Second row. A third row is separated with the McLarens. AlphaTauri. Obese Boy. He will be in the fourth row with Finn alongside him. Rev Caterpillar, Akos is the top 10. Some notables outside the top 10. You have Black Raw in the Alfa Romeo who barely made it. He'll be in the top 10 based off grid penalties. Heaven, Alpha, Cormac, all the FRT drivers, JSR as well, and Weckass, who had a qualifying ban, if I am correct on that.
So, we don't know the boring.
Well, we do now. But, yeah, pretty much bone dry race it looks like. According to my knowledge.
Listen, I see a cloud. Anything is possible.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. That's weird, Aid, because I see him listed as a reserve, so that's all I go off of. I apologize for making that mistake once again. But one mistake I won't make is the fact that knowing Jab has a championship lead and knowing that Jab did not qualify well at all. That's not like Jab. And any bonus point, you can take it because Subbing Sock has taken it, the Williams driver. He is on pole next to Term, 100th separating them. So if that's the gap between those two, what will be the difference by the time the race starts? Now, clocking down, drivers choosing their tires outside the top 10. Let's find out what they're going on to, because 10th on back, except for the people with grip penalties, will be starting on different tires. So, here is what we got for the tires. The top 9 are on softs. So is Astrief, so is Akos, so is Heaven, and so is Cormac. Everybody outside of the top 10, excluding Black Raw, that I didn't say, is on the mediums. So, JNT, I've got to ask you, who are your two drivers you are looking to watch in this race? Who are going to be the favorites? Who will impress? And who will get better than their starting positions? Two drivers.
Well, you know Jab's going to have to. You know Jab's going to do better than 6. Jab is probably just sandbagging or something. He's the championship leader. He's probably going to win this for all I know. I mean, anything can happen. But he's the championship leader. He's the most dominant driver in this league right now. So, I look out for him, as should anyone. But Sock, who has been, I don't want to say surprising, but he's been the outlier in the McLaren party. He has pole. He's been really strong these past few weeks. And I just really wonder if he can go out there and win because he got robbed last week. He really should have won. But this week, he has 6 places on Gab, and he looks like he has a really good setup. So I think he has a really good chance of winning, too, because he's the full setter.
Those are two interesting drivers you choose. Hey, I'm going to go with Venom, though, because Venom in his return last week was on for a podium, possibly a win. Who knows what the circumstances could have been for him. This is his first, this is his second race in GSR returning from the ban. Now, with that said, he's got a lot of work to do. He's got to prove himself again. He's on the second row with his teammate Sam next to him. I think Venom's going to be somebody who can stop the front two from dominating this race, or even Jab if he gets up there. Venom might be somebody who can stop him. Somebody else as well?
Yeah, Alpine is one of those teams in that battle for fourth in the constructors, third and fourth on the grid.
There you go.
Looking very, very strong for them this race. Look out for both of them.
And somebody I do want to look out for is actually QBR 20 term in the front row. He's had some bad luck, but with that being said, if not for the bad luck, he's been up front pretty much every single race. He's going to be somebody to look out for in this race. We'll find out if he'll be a factor or not by the end of it.
Grid warming up here at the British Grand Prix. The fans are all loving this. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go for the British Grand Prix. And Sock already is about 2 car lengths ahead of Term as they go down Turn 1.
The Alpine of Venom, though, is third in this grid, and Sam has dropped back. So is Jab from the start. It's Sobbing Sock leading to turn 2 to turn 3. And then as we go further back, it's Venom who's made the move on Term, and Term's going off the track. Both of them make contact, and that's for second place in this race. There's been a crash at the back, which has got the FRT drivers involved. But side by side for second place in this race, Venom is on the inside. He was ahead for the time being, but Term's got back ahead, and Finn is in this battle as well. He's challenging him. Rev and Jab both going side by side for 7th place in this race. Jab has got ahead for the time being, but the Red Bull of Rev and Caterpillar challenging back, but has to slide in right behind him in that race. And Cameron has got up to 10th place in the mediums. He's currently the highest runner on mediums, but Jab is now trying on Sam for 6th place in this race, while Rev Caterpillar is alongside into the S's.
And he gets him. Jab down the 8th.
Well, that's impressive from Rev Caterpillar that he was able to make that move, and a really bad start from Jab. So here comes Finn as well on Venom. Venom was struggling off of the S's. You're right. He's still trying for 7th place in this race. Will it be enough, though? That's what's going to matter. He has got a good exit out of Stowe. Into the chicane. He's going to go down the inside.
Yes, he can.
Well, Rev Caterpillar is definitely frustrating him just a little bit, because you can see Jab was trying to go along the outside, but it was already Rev Caterpillar's corner, and he had the run there. But it was Sobbing Sock leading the first lap of the Grand Prix, 6/10 ahead already of Term.
Well, there's
Cormac
there's
dropped down the order.
FRT Cormac going backwards, taking an absolutely amazing line through the first sector.
Around there. But as that happens, the battle for the lead is dropped down to 4/10 between QBR 20 Term and Sobbing Sock. Then you have the battle which Venom has got the big train from onwards, and Astria from Cameron going wheel to wheel. That spun Cameron around, and the Aston Martin, he's gone around. He's no longer going to be the highest run of the mediums.
And that was for points too.
That's correct. But what is for a position of points is Turner losing the rear at the, wow. I can't even name the corner. Nice. Well, he lost the rear right there. Yeah, Cops. And Cops Stowe. Yeah, Cops, yeah. Well, out of Maggots and Beckett's, though, Sam got a better exit, and somebody else got a better exit. It was Finn on Venom, who's looking to take 3rd place at Stowe. Oh, my God. Turner's off. Turner is off, and he has ran into the racetrack right in front of Rev Caterpillar and his teammate. And there's contact.
FRT Haven retires. Will that turn into anything? Turner got really screwed.
Doesn't look like it. Yeah, he might have had the AI glitch, because he gone off right there on the right side toward the barrier out of Stowe, and it's allowed his teammate to go ahead of him. So that's the good part out of it, but for him at least.
With GRS now
But with
being
that said,
enabled, be interesting to see. Term can close the gap for the lead.
Astrief has got by Turner as well. That's for 9th place in this race. He's using a little bit of overtake to try to get back by him. Can he do so here into Sector 2? No, he can't. Jab was on the back of Rev Caterpillar as well for 6th place in this race. Rev Caterpillar going a little bit wide, but Jab taking a more conservative line to try to get the better exit. He's got the AlphaTauri of OBC Boy right there as well in the mix. The Ferrari of Cormac has spun around again.
SHG Finn and Venom and Finn going through Maggots and Beckett's also still very close. Maybe this will have a DRS. Finn can have a go at Venom into Stowe. And I think this is going to be a pretty dead easy move. And it is.
It was more like the switch right there. Rev Caterpillar's also got overtaken by Obese Boy, which has got Astrief in this mix as well for 6th place. This train that Jab has got behind him is all trying to get past him because they know they have a chance within DRS. DRS very powerful at a track like Britain, and Term has taken the fastest lap while in 2nd place, and him and Sobbing Sock have been going back and forth trading that fastest lap. But here comes Sam on Venom. He was close into turn 1, but he was not close enough. There is Venom, loses the rear.
It was a really big, I think, locked up the fronts and the rears for Venom.
Yeah, and that's cost him a position to Sam now. And there's the yellow flag. That is Cormac again, who is spun off at Cops.
You okay? You're having a bad day. I think he needs to go home.
Well, I will say though, Alpha and Akos traded positions because Akos has gone off and into Cops for a second there. I think Turner was looking for a move on Rev Caterpillar, couldn't do so, but he's used his overtake to try to get by him again, and this train is going to be very powerful and very crucial for these guys to catch up, because guess what? Jab is dragging them along to catch Venom, and that will put these guys all in contention for a podium. As we didn't note earlier, JSR, the first driver to pick up a penalty, and here comes Obese Boy as well on Jab ahead of that. Finn and Sam trade positions. Behind that, Rev Caterpillar and Astrief, I think, also traded spots. And here comes Turner again.
Ferrari spun off again.
It's Venom. Venom is off at the chicane, and that's cost him points now. He's out of the points.
A bunch of spots. I don't think he got any damage, but just a lot of costly mistakes already. 5 laps in, he's already got a lot of mistakes.
Well, he rather spun off the curb, or, as JSR gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, whether he got, you know, got spun out, or he simply just spun off the curb, and for the lead! For the lead, this is important because Term has got by Sobbing Sock. We didn't catch that one, I apologize for that. Term has got by, but Sobbing Sock has got the better of exits. Here we go into Cops. We saw Lewis and Max be able to battle it into here. These two surely are not going to go side by side. Yeah, Sobbing Sock is going to back out of that one.
I don't watch the Xfinity race. It's not working.
Surely. Could have took advantage there, but didn't. Finn and Sam as well, the two Shazoo drivers, battling for the podium, and somebody who's going to be battling for the podium soon is this whole train from 5th on back all the way to 11th, which has got all the way to the back of Black Raw in this battle. And this is for the lead again. Sobbing Sock has got by Term, but Term's got the better exit right here. Into the chicane. Term is gonna try to go wheel to wheel into the chicane. Couldn't do so right there. He's ran wide, actually. And Finn is actually entering the pit lane. Does he have damage, or is this an early pit stop?
Turner gets a 5-sec speeding.
We'll find out if this was for damage, or if this was for a scheduled pit stop.
Another 5 seconds in the pits.
That's correct. And
I mean, the pit speed is really slow here.
Yeah, at this track,
already. 2 and 1 thing of pit stops.
Oh. Cormac is having a horrible race from him. But onto the mediums they go for those people who have pitted. For the lead is 3/10 between them. Behind that in the train, Jab is looking to make a move on Obese Boy, and Astrief is looking as well. Astrief was thinking about a move into the left-hander there, then the right-hander. And now here comes Astrif into Cop's corner. Both of them going side by side. Akos is retired out of the pit lane. Will this bring out a safety car? Both Astrif and Obese Boy were side by side, and the Cops could not make the move stick right there, which is going to allow Jab to keep ahead in 4th place and Obese Boy in 5th. So Term has got DRS now for the lead on subbing Sock once again. Overtake button engaged, and this one might be crucial for him to get the lead. He's going to try to go around the outside, but can't make the move right there. Now he's going to try to the inside. Can't make the move there either. Pitting is Sam in this race. He is the next driver to come in the pit lane. He's going to maybe try to cover off the undercut from Finn, which is now put in this race Obese Boy on the current podium, but into turn 1, and now turn 2, subbing Sock and Term are really close for this lead again. Term is still right on the back of him, but can't make a move into that section of the track, because if he was going to, it would have resulted into some sort of collision. Now he's got overtake to this back straight, to the DRS zone, into turn 5 or 6, this is. Ooh, he makes the switchback right there on the straight, moves over, and he's got the lead for now. Term has got the lead back in this race once again.
Yeah, Term, he's looking really good so far, honestly. I mean, I thought Sock with his run of strong performances, but maybe, I mean, I don't know, maybe would have been able to break away a little bit or show that he had a little more strength. The Term just not letting up, not letting him get away, and Term is leading.
Well, Jacob is close to Rev Caterpillar. Maybe the mediums are coming into play here in this race, because he's right in the back of Rev Caterpillar, and so is Black Ross. Black Ross is still in this train after all of what's happened. It's crazy to think, but now Jab has got the DRS. He's got a lot of overtake that he can use, but he's not using it. Now he is, and he's going to go alongside Obese Boy, the AlphaTauri, for 3rd place in this race. He's got it. He's got the position. The 2 leaders are currently staying out.
That they are.
Well,
Rev Caterpillar
is
pits.
the next one to go for a pit stop. That's going to move everybody up a place. But the net lead, based off people who have pitted, is currently Finn, who's made the move on Sam on the back straight.
Your 2nd penalty for Black Raw. A lot of penalties. That's something I forgot to mention before the race while we were in qualifying.
Venom is thinking about going down the inside of Alpha. I apologize for interrupting there for the moment, but here's the lead again. Term and subbing Sock. They both just think about it right at the last second, man. They always been trading that. I apologize about that battle, but we have yellow flags. That is going to be FRT Alpha, I think, around, and he has got no front wing. This may bring out a safety car, but it hasn't for the time being. Astrif in this train as well was using a bit of overtake in the Cops. I've got to be right back quickly, so I'm going to have the camera right on the lead because we seem to miss everything. I will be right back. I'm going to be quick.
Oh. JNT show. Yeah. Sock for now in the stow. This time, no lead change there. He keeps the lead for now. Jab still holding off a VC boy as Jab actually pits. So Jab, let's see how much time Jab gains on the leaders from this undercut. The undercut's really not as fun. Astria just got, I think, a 3-sec and a 5-sec. Just trying to go into the pits. Not great for him.
It's a 10-second for FRT Alpha right there. It's not good for him. As I am back now. Jacob as well on the medium. So you know he's going to be going a bit longer. So will Black Raw. So will Cameron. And currently for this net lead, Jab is coming out of the pits now. Where will he stand? Here's Term again on Sock. Not close enough by the corner. Yellow flags. That's a Haas. That's Wekas. Or no, that's Alpha. Who's got no front wing once again. He's got into some other trouble and is out. He's turned dead right into the pit lane and crashed. And his car is parked on the track now. Will this bring out a safety car?
No, surprisingly.
For the lead once again. Here we go. Term and subbing Sock. Here comes Term. They're both weaving. Here comes Term again to the right, left side.
Right there. I think you saw a glimpse of it. Sock has less than 10% ERS. That flashing red light on the back of the Williams.
Jacob's got by OBC Boy is coming into the pit lane. And you saw Term as well fake it into the pit lane on Subbing Suck. You see a lot of ERS has been used by the past race leader of Subbing Suck. Look at the difference between him and Term. That will play a factor in this race.
65.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Now, all of the soft runners have pit except our two leaders. And the leading medium runner is Jacob Egg, who, if you remember, took, I think, a grid penalty and
Correct.
started 17th. He's now the lead medium runner in this race, and he's third on track right now. Really, really great performance from him.
Well, something I find interesting is Jab is just slightly off of DRS from this train of cars that is for the net lead on the medium runners with Sam, Finn, and Jab. And then behind that, his teammate to back him up again, Turner. We've seen him back him up a lot of times this season so far. Term has got the lead with Subbing Suck still behind with DRS and a little bit of overtake being used, but the difference in overtake is definitely not promoting an overtake at all. Well,
who will blink first into the pits?
Oh.
Term goes in. Sock fakes a little bit. Sock stays out. Term comes in. They both kind of fake each other out. Oh, the Xfinity race started. Oh no,
I'm just curious now, what's this going to do in comparison? Because you know it's a slow pit lane, and it takes a while in the pit lane. So these guys on the back straight with Finn and Sam, what's going to happen here for this net lead? Because this is where Term will come out around. And Jab is also 6/10 behind. Good?
Someone's blowing up. I think the pit delta here is about 20, 25 seconds, something around there.
Like that. The Term's coming out now.
The medium runner is Term's coming out now, but they're gonna have he's gonna be miles clear.
They were that far ahead.
Update on the Xfinity race, the 47 car. His car's blowing up. Ryan Sieg just got screwed over by Ty Gibbs. Oh my god, how is that not costing? Jesus.
At the back of this train, Ashriff was on the back of Rev Caterpillar right there. Couldn't do anything about it. And you still see the race leader of Subbing Suck staying out.
He's going long, I think, just to get a larger advantage later in the race. Or
if a safety car comes out, too.
He could be, if he doesn't fit this lap, he could be banking on a safety car, which, as he has happened a lot. Which could have happened a lot. We've had a lot of incidents that questionable. That was very questionable about how they weren't safety cars. As now, Jacob Egg, who started 17th, I think. I'm going to check that.
Well, he's the leader as of now, but Jab is on Finn. This is important because this is for second place in the net lead for this train. And where Subbing Suck will come out will be around Term, but I think Term has got himself so far ahead that even if Subbing Suck comes out behind him...
Term's going to be ahead. Term's totally going to be ahead.
Well, we'll find out. Here's the race out of the pit lane now. Off the pit exit, here's Term, and here's Subbing Suck. Term has got ahead.
Term got ahead.
But still within DRS between the two. That's not surprising at all. I was going to say, if Subbing Suck ends up coming out behind Term, the gap still is going to be enough to the point where the guys behind in this train for the podium, which Sam has lost the rear on, will not be enough for DRS. But they're in their own DRS train. Here comes Jab on Finn.
Can he get it? Side by side. Going into Brooklands. Finn gets on 3 seconds in this battle. That's pretty important for later in the race.
Between the wheels again.
Oh, more contact. His Jab gets the position from him. Will he try and fight back in the cops?
Maybe yell flag. That's Rev Caterpillar. No, that's JSR.
How about the Eggman, Jacob Egg, who started.
Hey, hold on. We have a battle for the net lead. Here comes Subbing Suck again to the inside. On Term. There's a yellow flag. That's the Ferrari.
So, just one.
Not the leader.
Term
Into the chicane again.
looks. You just cannot quite get the spot back from Sock, who is now back into the net race lead.
Turner.
As
That's Jab's
Turner gets
teammate.
another penalty. Penalties plaguing
Oh!
him
We have
today.
a
Yellow flags.
crash at turn 1. That's the Ferrari, and that was right in front of the leaders. That was Cormac, who's going on another lap down.
Probably gave them both a heart attack.
They probably did. Oh, Turn's lost, and he spun!
Turn lost it!
And he resets
And he
the
re-
track, which
and he
isn't allowed
resets the
either.
track. Oh no!
Now he has lost DRS to the leader, and Jab has an illegal overtake too.
Penalty, I think. Is it 5 seconds or 10 seconds for the league?
No, somebody got a 10-second, I think. That might have been Cormac. But
No,
Finn is alongside Jab again, and Jab's off!
Jab's off!
With Finn, contact from Finn, and that's the championship leader. No more trouble. Out of the points as the time is.
Very
Side by side in the
eventful
cops.
lap.
With that Streep and Finn.
hell
Sorry
is
to cut
going
in. Jesus. What's happened in the last 30 seconds is unbelievable. Wow.
Now, that gives Sock an effective 5-second lead
Well,
over
Term is got by Sam.
as Term passes him. How much time do you get for resetting the track?
It's rather 5 or 10 seconds, but I mean,
So
he
Term,
had no reason to
that's
reset.
going to be really costly. It's gonna be
Yeah.
really costly for him at the end of this thing.
Lost the rear right there.
Purple
So I don't want to
sector
say
3,
anything.
though. He's really pushing.
Yeah, he is. You bet he will be.
I mean,
Even with that penalty,
probably
then he'll
really
be getting
pissed.
post-race. Oh, Finn has lost the rear, and Jab goes through.
Jab's probably not the happiest person on the planet either right now.
No, because he got
Forced
off by
off
Finn.
by He got forced off
Yeah.
by Finn, who
Well, did Finn lose the
It's
rear
not
there
great for
when he
him.
get into him? Or did Finn just straight up force him off? We don't know. I wouldn't be biased as a Mercedes teammate to Finn in Tier 3. You know, I'm on that team, so I'll be honest in situations like that. You know, I'm wondering because we didn't see the full angle.
Whoa! A BC boy might have a look here at Finn for 11th on track. No, he thinks better of it on the cup. I want to see more cups overtakes. That'd be fun.
Oh, find out in the next couple laps.
Yellow
flag.
sector 2. That's a regularly scheduled program.
Yeah.
Jacob Egg still running on the mediums he started the race on. If there is a safety car,
Well,
he will be the race leader on a fresh set of softs. Because Cormac retires,
Ow.
will that be anything?
you bring that up. You bring that up. Something I do mention, though, as Term will set the fastest lap. Something I do want to mention is, oh, S-shift and Turner are off!
Oh, Turner and Esther. That's big for the constructors.
That is safety car. That is a
Safety
safety car.
car.
You are
That
right.
is
But what I was going to
huge.
mention,
Huge.
before that, what I was going to mention is, you mentioned about Jacob. If Jacob had come out, he would come out in that train, and that's where all that battling was happening. He's probably happy that that happened. Turner and Astrif have collided off the fallen corner. I didn't catch fully what happened. I apologize for not catching that on stream. I was trying to focus on Jacob and the gap to that train because that's important. No, it's not, because he's going to have the lead.
Gets his big break today. He, I think, after he pits, will be on fresh, soft tires, and he will be the leader. I think.
Well, if these guys trying to pit for softs who've already pitted for mediums too and have a fair chance.
That would be absolutely huge for this race.
It would. Wackash is
Same
the
with
first
Black
driver
Raw,
pitting.
too. Black Raw also, he started it on mediums. He can also go in for soft. This is really, and Cameron too, this is really going to shake up the top of the field here.
Well, this is why you try the alternate strategy in league races if you're outside the top 10. My question is, from subbing suck onwards, will they try any sort of strategy that gets them to have the lead, or
No, Sock stays
What do they do?
out, I think.
Term is pitting? I think
Term.
subbing suck could possibly be alone here, because look at Sam. Sam's pit. Caterpillar's pit.
Caterpillar,
Jab is pitting.
Jab.
Oh my god.
Oh no! Sock may have just thrown. There's a lot of front wing on the racetrack right now.
Well,
And
although
Egg,
stopping
Jacob
stock while the
Egg,
leader, or hold on,
Stopping
although
Stock will be
stopping
a leader,
stock,
but Jacob Egg on the fresh soft tires, he will be the first one on those fresh
hey,
softs. That is
although
huge for this race.
this is just like Portimao again, although stopping stock may be the leader on 3-lap mediums, he's a sitting duck because everybody else is elected to go to the softs. And I mean, not only does this put Jab back in contention for the win, but he is in 8th place, the championship leader.
That's what happened to bring out the safety car, though. Turner, I think he crashed out last week, right? Which is
Yeah, I think he did.
yeah, 2 races in a row, the McLaren teammate crashes out. While both Red Bulls are solidly strong in the points right now, Jab is behind both of them. So if he wants to have some damage limitation, he's gonna have to basically win this race if he wants to cover for what happened to his teammate just now. But if that doesn't happen, I think Red Bull are gonna be really threatening McLaren going to the next race in the constructors.
Hey, anybody who cares about combined, that's something you might want to focus on. Look at the difference here. Black Raw, though, does have a penalty, and he's currently on the podium.
I think. I don't know. I don't keep track. Aston Martin safety car vibing ahead of the field, giving everyone a chance to think about what they've done wrong this race,
Well,
and then have them think about how to not do it, and then
speaking
think
about doing
about all the
things wrong,
scenarios that could
you,
happen. I
you speak
mean,
about you speak about doing things wrong, though. Term reset the track when he spun, and I'd assume there's gonna be a penalty coming his way post race. Will that change his approach for the win? Will that change
I feel like
anyone's
resetting,
approach around him, though?
I feel like resetting the track would have been like the bad. I feel like that would have been the bad play in that situation because he could have spun it around and had more momentum going for. I don't know. I don't. Why are those front wings still on the track? That doesn't seem safe. I'm gonna see if anyone gets punctured from that.
Well,
AlphaTauri
just like
in
Portimao, stopping stock is
for
alone
probably sauce.
from the lead.
He's alone and sad, but
Well, it
he's
sucks for
also
him.
fast.
Yeah,
So
it's just a matter of can he keep it. Hungry, train of cars behind him.
this whole time we've been under caution in the Xfinity race. This whole time. This is the
Well,
longest caution I've ever seen.
just want to take the moment under safety car to just mention that the league is sponsored by SilentX Energy. It's a drink similar to G Fuel, as people mentioned,
It's a
but the
drink.
healthy version. Yeah, it is. Well,
It's
they're
a
now making
drink.
merch.
You can
They're
drink
now.
it.
Hey, that's
You
true. They're
know.
now making merch for GSR as well. I think you should go check that out at some point. Safety car would be maybe a good time
Yeah.
to do
Buy
so,
it.
but yeah,
You guys buy
exactly.
it so that I don't have to. Please.
Well, one thing I do want to mention is if JSR and Bruft do catch up, we'll be going in this time.
Maybe. I hope we don't this time. Then that just means one more lap for everything to go wrong.
Well, are we in? Are we not? Safety car speeding up. It is in this
It
lap. JNT,
is.
you lead it away.
Yeah. The Aston Martin safety car is going really fast right now. Like it's go. That safety car driver is flooring it. He's gone the fastest he's ever gone in his life just now. Anyway, Sock, who is being limited with this throttle by the game.
Oh,
That was an absolutely amazing restart from
and very
Sock.
early.
He has he had an 8/10 gap, but because of the tire difference, that's gone now. The front wings are still on the racetrack. That seems really safe.
Well,
Anyways, we go down into turn one. The grip of
here
the
we go.
softs, I can already see it because Jacob Egg, I could just see how his car is just sticking better than Sock, as Sock's just rear end is moving around just that tad bit little more than his. As no really
Firm,
position changes yet.
firm. Here we go. Overtake engaged, and here he is on camera, and this is his first chance for the lead, or first chance to get to the lead.
Purple sector one for the Red Bull driver.
Oh,
Still
a
side
little
by
bit
side, a
touching.
little bit of wheel banging.
Again. Oh.
Whoa! Cameron almost loses it. But Term just commits to the move. He stays ahead of Cameron. Cameron
Oh.
looks for moving the cops, but he just can't do it. As we go into Maggots and Beckett's, Jacob Egg falling really closely to our leader, Silent Sock. Sock, though, he's held on better than I thought he would here in this first lap of the restart. I thought Egg would have been way, Jacob Egg, we thought he would have been way ahead of him by now.
Well, they weren't close before. They're closer now because they've gapped Black Raw by almost a second, and DRS will be
Oh my
enabled
god, what happened
in
now?
another lap.
It's so random.
Fastest lap from the new soft runner, Jacob Egg. 2/10 is the gap.
Jacob, the Eggman looking for the lead. Oh, he
Oh!
sends one down the inside. Absolutely beautiful stuff. He can't stick it though, but he's gonna try and go for the switchback. No, he just can't stick it. That would have been a really cool move.
Yellow flag,
Yellow
that is
sector
Term!
one.
Again!
That's Term. Another mistake in the same corner.
And for the lead, we've got the battle between Jacob Egg and Sobbing Sock. Egg has got it.
And Jacob Egg takes the lead.
With a
Safety car. For what?
Right? Please no glitch.
Wait, what the hell is this for?
Maybe for the front wings
But
that they didn't replace.
They feel bad for Term. They feel bad for Term, that's why. I
Well,
swear
maybe
to
for
God,
those
this
front
is for
wings,
the
too.
front wings. Are they still there? Under
don't know.
safety car, this just helps Jacob Egg and like Black Raw even more. This just helps them because it just gives everyone else less laps to pass them.
Well, although there's less left to pass him, though, Black Raw still has that penalty. And the net podium would be Egg, Sobbing Sock, and Cameron right now.
That's
we have a
something.
pitter.
That would really be something. Who's pitting? That's
Sobbing Sock.
Sobbing Sock. Bit the
Blue.
bullet. Goes on.
I don't know.
Goes
I don't know
on
how
the
this
new
will work
sauce,
out.
Which goes on the new sauce, which will be fresher than everyone else's in the field. But I don't think it was the right call to do this now. If you think he should have just done it earlier with everyone else. It's just unfortunate for him making the wrong call.
But the thing is, can he recover from this? Because Jep's not had a strong race, nor is McLaren as a whole.
Cameron, who we haven't really talked about, he's a net P2 right now. He's been doing a really good job today. He started on the mediums, so he wasn't really keeping pace with them at the start, but that safety car really saved him, and I think he has decent pace, because he looked pretty decent on the softs.
Well, something I will say, though, is although 4 drivers in this race have a penalty, right? The thing that's worth noting is... what is going on here at the back of the pack? What is going on? Oh, boy.
What is going on?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Because some of these guys are trying to overtake one another, and you can't do that.
What the hell?
Well,
did he do it? I think he did it.
If
that's not good.
If anything, the safety
Term's
car
just kind of
could be coming in. Everybody's caught up,
I think,
but it may need to run an
you
additional
need to
lap.
go
And
another
what
lap.
is what is going on here?
We need to go another.
Yeah, I think it is going to go another lap, unless it's a late one, because it needs to run its full course
No,
with the safety
we're
car.
already at the pits.
Yeah, it needs to run its full course for 2 laps, I think, in order for.
So we're going to be going back racing.
Yeah.
6 laps to go.
That's probably why.
The AlphaTauri hits.
And he might have to serve a 5-second if there's any collision from him, because I know some people at the back here are not being friendly with one another.
The front wings are still there.
That's crazy.
I think they're just trying. I think all these drivers are trying to clean the wings up. I'm trying to just get them out of the way on this safety car, which is a pretty smart thing to do. It would
Yeah,
really suck if a lot.
Term says the
No, you go.
AlphaTauri, I think it was, went off the track and he overtook him, and now he's trying to get back past him. So that's probably what's happening at the back of the grid. With that being said, though, we have a race on our hands with a 5 to go restart coming our way. Jacob the leader, Black Raw in second, Cameron, then Sam, the Rev Caterpillar. Jab's outside the top 5, so is Finn, Venom, and Term, and Subbing Suck, who've all been contenders here today.
Term and Sock, 12th and 13th. Just 7 laps ago, 7, 8 laps ago, they were 1-2.
That's true. That's crazy to think about how quick things change in this league, in this race, and as a whole. It shows you a bit of that perspective. With that said, the safety car should be coming in this time. If it doesn't, I'd be surprised.
It's going to be really interesting to see who's going to come out on top here. And see if Piggy can maybe hinder the progress of Jacob Egg. Because we know Piggy has that time penalty. I don't
Yeah,
know.
is that something he might try to get appealed, you know? As we look at the penalties, all the drivers who have penalties only have 3 seconds. It is in this lap.
I reckon that Finn will try and get his appeal because he got a little forced off while he was battling with Jam.
But he might get a penalty for the jab incident, too. All right, JNT, lead the safety car restart in here. With these drivers
All
weaving
right.
and trying to get temperature.
They're weaving back and forth, doing their thing. And they're not going yet. Still not going. Now we're going. Back underway here in the British Grand Prix. 5 more laps to go. Jacob Egg leads them down into turn 1. And Rev Caterpillar looking at Sam for 4th. Nothing there. And not really much overtaking on this first sector on this restart. As Jacob Egg already has 8/10.
If anybody wants to catch him, though, they're going to have to get by Black Raw, who has a penalty, because, you know, it eliminates your whole shot of winning at that point. Cameron's close behind. He's 3/10, but still, DRS will be enabled in a couple of laps, and we'll have 3 laps to the end with DRS, which could change the factor of this race. Everybody's still within DRS, except for the AlphaTauri at the back. Yeah, and almost Black Raw soon enough.
What is going on in this Xfinity? Oh, BC Boy 3 second. That's gonna hurt him a little. That's gonna hurt him a lot because we are really close. Because everyone's gonna be so close after the safety car restart. Remember, though, Sock does have the freshest tires of anyone right now. But right now, it just doesn't let. Oh, it's raining.
What do you mean it's raining?
At Vegas.
Oh, Vegas. Okay. Well,
anyway,
in this train, the thing I find most important is, even though Black Raw is there's the fastest lap from Egg, even though Black Raw is almost without a second, though, our championship leader, Jab,
he's in 6th.
Still can get a podium out of this. And Sobbing Socks picked up a 3 second.
That's
Term down the inside on JSR.
Oh, little contact.
Sam on Cameron for the podium. This is important because of Aston Martin and Alpine. Here they go.
I think Cameron's going to let him have it here, I think. Yeah, he lets him have it. Sam, Term, and a lot of Sock and Term, how the mighty have fallen this race.
And both have penalties now in the same lap. The Williams pushing Term along of JSR into Pops. Both are side by side with contact. Wide. And he's lost DRS. He's lost DRS before it's even enabled.
Sam is 2 seconds back from the leader, but he has had really good pace this race. And he can go for the win. I mean,
we'll have to find out.
We're going to have 3 to go after this.
Which is when DRS will be enabled for this hungry train trying to get by Black Raw.
Jab right now just stuck. He can't make any progress. Cameron
Cameron.
3 seconds. That's
Now
good.
that is going to put currently Rev Caterpillar on the podium. The net
Rev
podium.
Caterpillar Red Bull going to gain more points on McLaren because of that.
Now, who is the first one to think about a move here? Oh, here we go. Finn down the inside of Obese Boy. In the AlphaTauri, there's a bit of wheel touching. Just ahead of that.
I think Finn doesn't really lost all his momentum being on the inside out of that corner, and that's going to allow Venom to maybe have a look as Term and Saab and Sock are not battling for the lead. They are battling for the last points place.
Which is crazy to think about the way this race is played out.
Term able to hold it for now.
Now, let me just point out here. You know, with Jacob Egg having the fastest lap, and behind that, the position change.
We're going to have an overtake. We're going to have an overtake for second.
Oh, you're right. Here comes Sam.
Sam's going to start his journey. Sam's going to start his trek to try and chase down the Eggman.
And like I said, if anyone wants this lead,
and that's gonna
now's the time.
DRS is gonna propel him in the Jacob Egg DRS. I think he might be able to get his DRS here on the next straight.
Well, I will say this: as Term and Venom battle for 9th and 10th, they've both been pushed off, and here comes Subbing Sock 3 wide.
That's a slap.
Oh, there goes Subbing Sock around again.
Oh,
He's gotten into more trouble.
And
now Jab is on the back of the Red Bull, but something I was going to point out is look at where some of these guys started in this race. Black Raw gained 7 positions. Cameron gained 8. Sam
Jacob
gained 2.
Egg up 16.
Up 16. You were right about that. He had the grip penalty, and he's just barely outside of DRS this time. Can he get it by the final lap, and will that play a factor?
I don't know, but Sam, yeah, more yellow flags. That's Venom out. That cannot be a safety car at this point, though. Alpine teammate. It looks like that gap is staying stable at 1.1. Jacob Egg. Could the Eggman win his first race? I think this is his first start.
Yeah, I think so. Right? Crazy. First win, first start. We've seen that before. The AlphaTauri's out of the session now. And Sam, his journey is just slipping and slipping away. He's pushing so hard. But somebody's pushing even harder is Jacob Egg, who has got himself out of DRS for the time being. Sam, he's just barely outside of it.
I think Sector 3 is Sam's strongest point on the track.
Well, look at that.
But even then, he just cannot close the gap to Jacob Egg. We take the final lap here at the British Grand Prix. Another thing to look at. Jab versus Caterpillar for the net podium.
Well, someone who might have to say something about that is the AlphaTauri of Obese Boys running to the back of him and going down the inside. At turn 2. You see the gap for the lead, though. It's not going to have DRS, and the only chance Sam has for DRS is down the hanger straight.
I think it might just be over for Sam. I don't know if we can make up a 1 second gap in this little time.
Unless there's mistakes, that's the only thing that can say something about that.
Unless he makes some big mistakes. Although, as I say that, it's
right there.
It's down to 8 tenths.
Look at the ERS being used by both of them. Both of them using ERS. The gap is 7 tenths for the lead. Will we see another last lap battle? He lost the rear there, Sam at Cops, which may cost him some time, but he's still 7 tenths back.
DRS. I don't know. He's going to have to get way closer, which he does. He does get a little closer.
On the battle for the podium. Last podium is Jab and Rev Caterpillar on penalties, but the gap is 7 tenths. JSR has picked up another penalty.
I don't think he's going to have
Caterpillar on Cameron as well, on track. We've got to focus on this battle for the lead, though. Sam has tried all he can to get the battle and to get the gap down to possibly take the race win, but he has not done enough to do so. In his first start for GSR, this is why you take your first start and you take the win. Jacob has taken the first win. He's got it, and Rev Caterpillar will take the last spot on the podium just barely.
Wow. Absolutely.
First win,
scenes.
First start. Jacob Egg, you are a GSR winner.
Biblical scenes here at the British Grand Prix. Jacob Egg, who started 17th in his first race. He or she, I don't know, That's that. Listen, I don't even know anymore. They, let's go with they. They have won British Grand Prix.
Congratulations to him. We'll be getting the podium interviews in just a moment.
Sam, second fastest lap. Caterpillar, Red Bull, third.
Oh, apparently it's not
Great
his debut,
run
though,
for
but it
him.
is his first win.
Not.
That's his first time I've seen him, but
Well, I'm an idiot.
we both are then.
Always have been.
I apologize for making that mistake, but hey, it's his first win, though, from 17th on the grid. We'll get the pin here. Yeah, I didn't recognize seeing Jacob Egg before, though. That's weird. I thought it was his first start. If I had Thrasher here, he would probably clarify that for me. He's been in here more recent than us two have.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not Thrasher.
You're all good. No, don't worry. You're good. Well, we'll get the podium sitters in here for their interview. Final results: Jacob, Sam, Ref Caterpillar, Jab, Black Raw with a top 5. And Term could only manage 9th and Sapping Sock 11th. Both of them got into trouble in the race. And you saw they were battling for first and second. They were battling for the last point at that point. A lot changed for them in this race. It's a matter of what can happen in just moments in this race. So, let's speak to Ref Caterpillar, third place podium finisher. Ref Caterpillar, make sure your audio is included. You know, you had the battle with Jab for the last podium spot. You got it off penalties. Talk to me about your race and what it took to get a podium.
At the race, the pace wasn't very good, but just keeping up trouble, not getting any pins, that's what got the podium. And it would have been a lot easier, maybe a better result if the Ultra winners got gifted, but it is what it is, still P3.
Yeah, I mean, do you think if they were not gifted, you would have been up there with Sam in the battle for the win at the end?
It's impossible to know, but probably not. My pace wasn't very good. So I'll take third at the end of it.
Congratulations on that. I also want to add in, Russia is next week. What are your expectations for that track?
I think there might be a big invasion of in the lobby.
I
No,
mean,
if there
as
is,
long as,
could you
as
take
long as
advantage?
there's no nukes going off, I think the race should probably go ahead.
Yeah. Oh.
I think there might be a safety car.
Safety car.
Well, if there's a
nukes on
safety
the
car,
track.
it might be a red flag. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, you can't have red flags in this game, but this might be a first, so you never know. Well, congratulations on your podium. JNT, do you have any questions for our third place finisher today?
What's your favorite color?
Nice.
No, I need to.
You need to know? He's speechless.
Whatever.
Green.
I asked the best question.
Green. There you go.
Yay! Alright.
Well, there you go. All right. Well,
Now I
congratulations.
know your favorite color too.
Nah, it's
you
not
go.
green, it's blue.
Alright.
We could tell you're
Thank
a Red
you.
Bull. Anyway,
Alright, thank you.
congrats on that.
You had a really
podium.
fucking good race today. Good job.
Sam, you finished on the podium as well. That's a second place finish for you. Talk us through your race. Talk us through the gap you were able to close at the end. If you had a couple more laps, were you going to be getting that win?
I feel like one more lap I probably could have had it, but I missed out on lap 24, 25 by on DRS by a couple of hundreds, which probably cost it. But it was a lucky safety car for him, to be fair. So
Yeah.
I'm still, it's a good race for me. Yeah.
Now, you had your battle when the safety, before when the pit stops had happened, before the safety car came out with Finn, with Jab and everybody else. Talk us through those battles. Did you feel like those battles were clean? What did you think of those battles that had helped you take the podium with the end result of those?
The battles I had were clean. Me and Finn and Venom, we were just working together in the first stint, but I saw something happen behind me, but I'm not really sure what happened. But yeah, all the battles I had were clean, good fun. So yeah.
And what are your realistic expectations into Russia?
I don't know if I'm going to be racing it because Russia's a rubbish track, but if I can, I will. But yeah, see how it goes really.
JNT, any questions for our second place podium finisher?
Alright, rate the race out of 10. Rate out of 10.
Race out of
Let's hear it.
10. I'd say. Well, from my view, I'd say an 8. From a spectator point, 5. 5, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, it's get better than Monaco anyway.
Not hard.
Well,
Oh,
congratulations on the podium.
Yeah, cheers.
We'll see you in Russia maybe. Now,
Right.
Jacob, Egg, make sure your
I
audio
want
is
to do it.
included. Jake, JNT, you go interview the winner. He's a first-time winner, 17th on the grid. You take care of him. Go ahead.
Alright. The Eggman. You did it. You went from 17th to 1st. You proved all the egg haters wrong. And you pulled through and took the dub in the British Grand Prix. Tell us how you got there and tell us how you felt when the safety car came out that absolutely saved you.
Yeah, it was a very lucky win. I think without the safety car, I would have probably been pushing for P3, but it would have been really hard to overtake the DRS train. But the safety car did save my race, yeah. So, pretty lucky win.
You started 17th, and yet you were the top medium runner. You passed all those other guys on the mediums to be the first car on the fresh tires. You had to put some work in to get where you have to. No pictures.
Alright.
No photographers. No photography.
It's alright, yeah.
Anyway, you had to put yourself in the position to be the first car on your tires, and I think that helped you win the race because that's how things work.
Yeah.
Anyway, bonus question: how do you like your eggs done?
Well, I don't like eggs, so...
Oh,
Well, you heard it here
E66.
first.
E66
Well,
or egg? That's what I'm wondering.
you heard it here first. You
it's
heard it here first, folks.
E66, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like
You heard
egg, you
it,
know,
you-
so I mean.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't
you
think I
heard it
thought
here
that through.
first, folks. The eggs are not cannibals.
Well, I was gonna say, I was gonna ask my question. I was gonna say, congratulations on the win. You know, although you went from 17th to 1st, when you fought your way through it, you still had to hold off a lot of other drivers. Some of the best in Tier 1 that we've spoke about over the last couple of seasons. Was there a lot of pressure knowing that there was guys like Jab, Caterpillar, Sam, Finn, and even Term, and even subbing Sock behind you that you had to challenge?
Well, I don't think so, because I had a couple of cars in between that I knew I could just pull away from. And then as soon as Sam got into second, it was just managing the gap because I had enough ERS. So yeah, I didn't have great pace, but it was pretty easy after the restart.
What are your expectations for Russia? That's my last question, and we'll be ending the stream.
I don't know if I'll race because I'm a reserve, but I'm pretty good at
Well,
Russia.
you won as a reserve, so that's what could get you a full-time seat. You never know.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Well, you proved a lot of people that
That's true.
no matter where the hell you start, no matter where the hell people think your pace is, you can win one of these goddamn things. It just takes a little luck.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very true. Anyways, JNT, before we go into Russia and before we go into the Tier 4 race tomorrow, what are your closing thoughts from that race, and what do we expect then for Tier 4 tomorrow, since what we saw that you can win from anywhere?
Well, Tier 4 is a different beast. Tier
True.
1, it's like, alright, it's a tiering system. Alright, I'm gonna say it. Tier 1 people are faster than Tier 4 people. That's because it's tiering. So, the people in Tier 1 are probably a little more experienced, and they know how to play experience. Tier 4, because it's Tier 4, and it's Britain, because of what we saw today, I think tomorrow's going to be Demolition Derby. That's just my opinion. But
Who knows? Who knows?
literally, there's no predicting Tier 4. You can't do that.
That's true. That's true. Well, at least with my thoughts, you know, if today didn't show anything to anybody, it just shows you never give up. Because, you know, with Jacob at the time, he thought, okay, maybe he'll come out around, like, you know, the mid-pack area, where they ended up crashing, actually, and bringing out the safety car. And because of that halted him to have the lead, based off of the mediums, and that's what got him to where he was at, and that just shows, 17th, it's not over from the start. You crash on the first lap or second lap, don't retire, and try to finish the race. You never know what could happen, and that just shows that he won the race.
Someone could drop a nuke on the track and blow up half the cars. I mean, that's possible.
Speaking of that, Russia's next week. Russia's next week for the league. If there is any changes to that, which I highly doubt there will be, we'll let you know. Anyways, Tier 4 is tomorrow. Make sure you tune into that. Make sure you tune into SilentX Energy as well, and their merch coming soon. It might be already out. I don't know. I've not fully paid attention, but the point is that they have merch coming to the league. You might want to get some of your stuff, some of those GSR cool-looking merch you'd love to have. Anyways, that's it for today. You'll have to catch Tier 4 tomorrow, which is the last race of the weekend. It's been wet for Tier 3 and Tier 2. Not today. Not today at all. We'll see if that's like that tomorrow. This is me, Commentators, and JNTtheKid signing off. We will see you next week for Russia and Tier 4 tomorrow.